Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever walked into a room, poured your heart into someone, showed them your best self, and still felt unseen? Not because you weren't valuable, but because your energy didn't register? Today, you're going to learn 6 powerful habits that will shift your presence completely. The kind that makes people remember you even after you've left. Because being emotionally irresistible isn't about being loud, perfect, or chasing love. It's about mastering the energy that makes people respect you, miss you, and want to come closer, without you begging for it. Let's get into it. Welcome to Unshakable You, the channel where confidence is built from the inside out, where love isn't begged for, and where your presence becomes your power. In a world full of people chasing attention, we're going to build something stronger: magnetism. What makes some people quietly unforgettable? Why do some effortlessly hold space while others get ignored? It's not luck, it's not looks, it's not even words, it's habits, and you're about to build them. Because emotional attractiveness isn't random, it's a byproduct of emotional safety, identity clarity, and self-trust. And when you embody these, you stop chasing validation and start commanding attention, silently. Let me today. Let's break this down through a psychological lens. The foundation of emotional attraction isn't physical, it's energetic. It's how people feel in your presence. According to Dr. Albert Mehrabian, 93% of communication is nonverbal: tone, energy, body language. People don't remember your words, they remember how they felt around you. And when your energy says, "I need you to validate me before I can relax. I don't trust myself enough to walk away. Please like me so I can feel worthy," it creates emotional friction. Not because you're wrong, but because it makes the other person feel responsible for your self-worth. And nothing repels more than emotional debt. Now let's add this. From a nervous system perspective, humans are wired for safety, not just attraction. The people we trust the most are those whose energy is calm, self-regulated, and certain. That's the foundation of emotional irresistibility. You don't pull people in with your pain. You pull them in with your peace. Here's the raw truth no one tells you. 1. You don't attract what you say you want. You attract what you're emotionally available for. 2. You don't become irresistible by being perfect. You become irresistible by being whole. 3. People don't fall for nice. They fall for energy that reflects certainty, depth, and self-trust. Here's the wound. Many of us were raised to earn love through performance. Be agreeable, be pleasant, don't be too much. And if someone pulls away, try harder. Fix it, shrink, shape-shift. So we develop a false belief. Love is something I earn by being less of me. But that belief makes us chase. And chasing energy is rarely respected. Here's the flip. When you stop seeking to be chosen, you start being felt as a standard. And that transformation begins with your habits. So let's dive into the 6 habits that make you emotionally magnetic. The kind that don't just get attention, but command respect. Habit 1. Emotional presence. In a world that's constantly distracted by notifications, noise, and multitasking, emotional presence is magnetic. Think about the last time someone truly listened to you. Didn't just hear, but listened. No scrolling, no half smiling, just present. That feeling of being seen, that's what people crave, and that's what makes you unforgettable. To develop this habit, put your phone away during conversations. Distraction breaks connection. Eye contact builds it. Mirror their energy. Respond with curiosity, nod, hold space. It tells their nervous system, you're safe here. Don't rush to fill silence. Presence is also about comfort and pause. Your silence doesn't mean disinterest, it signals confidence. Being heard is so close to being loved that most people can't tell the difference. David Augsburger. When you become emotionally present, people remember you, even if they can't explain why. Habit 2. Selective vulnerability. Vulnerability is powerful, but only when paired with discernment. Oversharing early in a connection isn't intimacy, it's emotional exposure without context. That's not magnetic, it's overwhelming. Being emotionally irresistible means knowing what parts of your story to share, when to share it, and with whom. Not everyone deserves front row seats to your emotional history. Here's the reframe. Vulnerability isn't the same as being emotionally naked too soon. It's about intentional connection. You share your truth without demanding understanding, and you stop auditioning your pain for empathy. Tell your story to people who've earned the right to hear it. That's not cold, that's power. You don't owe full access to people who haven't even proven consistency. Habit 3. Detachment from outcome. Neediness repels, neutrality attracts. When your self-worth hinges on how someone else responds to you, you become emotionally dependent. But detachment? That's unshakable energy. Detachment doesn't mean apathy. It means, I want this connection, but I don't need it to validate who I am. Practice this mindset shift. Don't pedestal strangers. Don't interpret silence as punishment. Don't assume rejection means you're unworthy. Instead, fill your life with so much meaning their absence doesn't create an emotional vacuum. Let your joy be internally sourced, not externally dictated. Your vibe introduces you before you speak. Make it self-trusting. Habit 4. Strong boundaries without apology. Let's make one thing clear. Boundaries are not walls. They are bridges. They connect you with the right people and filter out the wrong ones. Emotionally irresistible people don't fear being misunderstood. They're not afraid to be the bad guy in someone else's story if that means being the hero in their own. When someone violates a boundary, they don't beg for respect. They remove access. No long explanations. No bending to be liked. Just clarity plus consequences. Let's say someone starts breadcrumbing you, texting only when they're bored. Instead of replying with passive-aggressive emojis, emotionally irresistible people say, "Hey, I'm looking for consistency, not convenience." If that's too much for the other person, that's the point. The wrong people will fall off when the real you shows up. Boundaries aren't confrontational. They're clarifying. They say, "This is what I accept. Anything less isn't rejection, it's redirection." Habit 5. Emotional agility. You want to know the superpower behind emotional magnetism? Emotional agility? The ability to feel deeply without acting desperately. Here's what that looks like in action. Someone pulls back. Instead of spiraling, you breathe. You check in with yourself, not your phone. Emotionally irresistible people feel everything, but they respond, they don't react. They give their emotions space to speak, not control the room. Try this technique, the 3-step emotional check-in. Name it. I feel anxious. Validate it. It makes sense because I've felt ignored before. Reframe it. But their silence isn't proof of my unworthiness. This pause between feeling and reacting, it's magnetic. It's mature. It's irresistible. Because nothing is more attractive than someone who's mastered their internal world, without needing external validation to regulate it. Habit 6. Identity-driven energy. You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. And people who know who they are, don't beg to be chosen. They embody certainty. They radiate I belong energy before they ever speak. Emotionally irresistible people don't overcompensate. They don't shrink. They own the room with calm presence. Here's the shift. I hope they like me. Let's see if they align with who I already am. Every day, start here. I am magnetic to those aligned with my peace. I attract energy that reflects my healing. I do not chase, I choose. This habit rewires how you walk into rooms, how you handle rejection, how you speak up without needing applause. You stop performing and start radiating. Let's break some myths that have been killing your emotional confidence. Myth 1. You have to play games to be wanted. Truth. Authenticity outlasts tactics. Short-term attention might be won through manipulation, but long-term attraction is built on emotional consistency and truth. Myth 2. Being emotionally available makes you boring. Truth. Stability doesn't mean dull. People confuse chaos with chemistry, but true intimacy feels safe, not scattered. Myth 3. If they don't choose you, you weren't enough. Truth. People can only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves. It's not about your value, it's about their capacity. Once you break up with these myths, your energy becomes a force field, one that protects your peace and multiplies your presence. Let's talk about the you on the other side of this. When you embody these 6 habits, here's what changes. You stop seeking approval. You start commanding respect. You stop oversharing to feel close. You start choosing who earns your truth. You stop chasing potential. You start honoring patterns. You become the person whose energy lingers, the one they can't forget. Not because you were loud, but because your presence was undeniable. You walk into rooms and shift the atmosphere, not by force but by alignment. Not because you were desperate to be chosen, but because you had already chosen you. That's what makes someone emotionally irresistible. Comment below, I am emotionally magnetic, if you're ready to step into your power. Subscribe to Unshakable You, the home of emotional clarity, confidence, and connection. Like this video if you're done repeating the same patterns and finally ready to attract emotionally aligned love. And next week we're diving into why you keep attracting emotionally unavailable partners, and how to break the cycle for good. You don't need to become someone else to be loved. You just need to become more of who you really are. Let's rise.